First, it's number 17 Georgia visiting number 2 Florida at 6 Eastern. Kathy, you and I will have that event. Then at 7:30, it's number 11 Alabama and number 9 Kentucky. And the night caps off with number 13 LSU heading to Fayetteville to take on number 25 Arkansas. All of these meets are also available on the ESPN app. Here is the scoreboard here at Lloyd Noble Center here in Oklahoma. The Sooners still have the lead after 3 of 4 events. News and notes from around the NCAA. Spectacular Haley Bryant got her 10 on the vault, well deserved. This one was against Missouri on Friday. Number 4 UCLA wins their Pac-12 opener yesterday against Washington. And from Fisk University, Aaliyah Reed Hammond in their first season at Fisk, a 9.925 on beam. What a great start for that program in its first year. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. The Oklahoma Sooners have a lead here, and most of that lead was attained with their outstanding work on vault in the first rotation.
Especially this early in the season. Boy, what a great decision to put Danny Severs up first. That was a last-minute change, and it paid off. She just drilled that first vault. So exciting. And then as we talked about, it got contagious after this. No movement there. We called it sticky feet, and one after the other just dialed in these very difficult 1.5 twists, 10-0 start value, and finished them all off in style.
You talk about world-class gymnastics. When we come for the 4th and final rotation, the Sooners will be on the floor, but Utah, the number 1 team in the country, will be on the beam. Miley O'Keefe and Kara Aker have scored perfect 10s back-to-back on that event. Here on Alumni Night, here in Norman, Oklahoma, the Sooners with a lead over the visiting Utah Utes. Utah going to beam here in the 4th and final rotation, where they're the number 1 team in the country. OU has expanded its lead after the first rotation by 0.15. So they lead by just a little over a half a point. They will be on the floor in this final rotation, and Utah, the number 1 beam team in the country, will finish up on beam, and that brings up Emily Morgan, who will lead them off here, Kathy. This is an amazing team. Every competitor from their lineup last year is back this year.
It's an amazing beam team and an incredible opportunity here to shine. Triple series, 2 back handstands, layout step out. So soft yet firm on that landing. Beautiful split position. Slight little balance break after the second jump. Gorgeous flexibility. Swing through front full off the side, catch you by surprise.
That was cool. I like that.
Yeah, good beginning routine for them. Triple series, ends with a layout step out. And as I mentioned, it's soft but firm landing. That's exactly what you want to see on beam. And that swing through to a front full. Fun dismount.
She has hit 36 for 36 routines in her career for Utah. She had an off-season ankle injury, but won a leadoff competitor for the Utes. And speaking of leadoff competitors, that brings up Norman, Oklahoma's own Belle Johnson, who, just like Jenna Dunn, walked onto this program, and here now in her junior year has earned a full scholarship with the Oklahoma Sooners, the number 1 team in the nation.
And her smile and performance quality really lights up an arena. Oh, I thought that was going to go out of bounds. You saw the yellow flag go up 1/10 of a point for out of bounds. Finishes with a tuck double back, shorter rotation, so she stepped forward. So a little trouble on both those landings. The out of bounds, it was too large a step forward on the first pass and then under rotated on the second.
Tweaked her ankle a little bit more than a week ago.
She really traveled so far on both of those elements. I would say farther than she usually does because she was in pretty good control on the landing, just out of bounds.
We'll go back to beam now for Utah. Get this, Emily Morgan, a huge 9-9 to lead off this incredible team here, and that brings up Olympian Grace McCallum.
Her first element of difficulty right here, double wolf turn. Keeps that leg nice and parallel and then goes right into 1, 2, and 3. Wow, that's difficult. Swing layout, step out. We've seen so many gymnasts have trouble firmly landing this. No trouble there. Won't get the connection there, so she'll add a third jump. You have to connect 2 leaps or jumps. It's a special requirement, and each of the special requirements are worth 0.2 of a point. Flat deduction if you don't do it. Gonna full off the end. And just a quick salute to the judge. So not a perfectly stuck landing. She handled the nerves. This is sort of the theme of the night.
Let's go down to Sam. She's with Oklahoma Gymnastics icon Maggie Nichols.
You recognized her. Everyone out there recognized her. 8-time national champion Maggie Nichols from Oklahoma. This is your first year without working with the team. How hard is it not to be out there with your team?
It's really hard. I miss it so much. It's amazing to be here and watch this amazing team, the #1 team against Utah. It's such a great matchup, and I'm so honored to be here and cheer on the Oklahoma Sooners.
You were on the team with Reagan Smith. What can we expect here?
Yeah, she is so dominant. She has had so much experience, on the elite stage and also now in Oklahoma. And so you can count on a great routine and a lot of smiles and a fun, energetic routine.
Thanks, Maggie. You can go be a fan now and cheer on.
All right, thank you.
Well, we saw plenty of great routines from Maggie Nichols for sure.
And her right hand is filled with NCAA championship rings. As Reagan Smith now on the floor. Belle Johnson, a 9.675 only. Remember, this meet was separated by about a half a point coming into this final rotation. The Sooners need 5 really big routines here because Utah is solid on beam in that last rotation.
Excellent technique on the tumbling and the leaps in this routine. Have some fun with the music and choreography. Double back to finish in tight position. Little under rotated, so stepped forward. So when we talk about taking a step after a tumbling pass, when you tumble forward, you should step forward into your dance for no deduction. And if you're tumbling backwards like this, double back, you should step back into the lunge to show you've completed the full element completely. If you step forward, that's shorter rotation and a deduction.
Reagan Smith had a 9.95 in the last rotation on beam. As we go back over to beam now for Utah, Abby Paulson is up. She has scored a perfect 10. We were there to watch that against UCLA a couple of years ago. Grace McCallum, a 9.775 with a couple of little bobbles.
She does a difficult side aerial to lay out, step out for her acro series. Oh! I have to say, this was not anticipated. I think there was so much buildup coming into this competition to see the battle of these beam queens, because they are truly some of the best in the country. As disappointed as they may feel right now, this is actually an opportunity. If they see it as such, you have to know what it feels like to have a mistake, have to recover, have to finish strong, no matter what.
Paulson, the senior from Minnesota, two-time Pac-12 beat champion the last 2 years in a row.
And notice, as I said, always when there are nerves, I often see that second leg that comes over in the final skill coming down too fast. It breaks up the rhythm. This isn't the rhythm they do in training. So just another learning opportunity right here. They'll be able to fix that.
We'll go back now to the Sooners on floor. Reagan Smith scores in. It's a 9.875. Danny Sievers is up.
Well, she's 2 for 2 for stuck landing so far in this competition. Let's see what she does with her tumbling. Full twisting double back. Look at that, controlling the landing.
Remember how she started it off for the Sooners? She led off on vault in that first rotation. The first competitor in the whole meet and got a 9.95.
Oh, and kept the heel up, did not go over the line. You can touch that line, you just can't step over it or it's out of bounds. Straddle position in both those leads. Good, strong routine. She really dialed in the landings all competition long and held that heel up, knew not to put it down because it would have crossed over the line. She just asked, did I step over the line?
Totally.
Oh, good.
She had a terrific day, starting with that 9.95 on vault, a stuck landing on bars as well. Expect a good score there. Now, Kara Aker, we saw her on floor a minute ago, 9.675 for her first time in the lineup this year on that event. Here she is on beam. We have seen her score perfect 10s before, Kim.
She is exquisite on this event for every reason imaginable. The flexibility, the difficulty, even as she's slightly off, as she was on that lead. She just kept moving, making those little corrections.
Two-time member of Team USA at the World Championships where they won gold medals. It's important to note that we're looking at gymnasts that are not only among the best in the country, but in many cases the best in the world.
So elegant, so precise, and she does the difficulty. Side aerial to lay out, step out.
Such finesse on the landing. You see the score there for Utah. They want to drop that 9.075, which was Abby Paulson's score. See
Love
that?
the dramatic presentation of this routine. It's just so special. Yes, a step on the landing, but oh, love it.
It's the rivalry that elevated women's basketball to the national stage in the 90s. Number 5 UConn takes on Tennessee and Knoxville Thursday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN and the app. College Game Day tips off our coverage from Thompson Bowling Arena at 7 p.m. Danny Sievers having a fantastic day for the Sooners. Scored a 9-9 on that floor routine. And that brings up Danae Fletcher. This routine is fun. We've seen it earlier this week against LSU, Kathy.
Whoa, I love this. I love the 70s. What a great decade. Big tumbling, triple twist. Fantastic. Front layout to front full. Gorgeous position in the air on those leaps. Two and a half twists, slightly under rotated. Oh, you would have fit right into the 70s. I loved it. Very difficult first pass. This is an E skill. Remember, the easiest A goes B, C, D, E. The most difficult rating a skill can get. That was a triple twist. Little shy of the 180 on that first leap, but... And then a very difficult 2.5 twist, but she under-rotated, had to scoot back.
You love the 70s. No, the music was great from the 70s. I'm not so sure the hairstyles and clothes were that great.
Oh, come on.
All right, back to the beam now. Kara Aker, a 9-9. And Crystal Issa is up now.
Otherwise known as the happiest person on the planet. No.
Go to Sam.
Guys, I was watching Crystal Issa before she mounted the beam, and associate head coach Carly Dockendorf was talking her through just standing there. She had all smiles on her face, and that's really how Crystal likes to work beam. Really light, and that's exactly what Utah needs right now. Even though Kara Aker scored a 9-9, they're not in the clear yet. They want to drop the score with the fall. I spoke to Carly Dockendorf before the meet, and she said that we're really working on lifting our chin in the presentation after series. And celebrating, just like Crystal was able to do right there. It's a step in the right direction for Utah.
Absolutely. This is valuable experience for them, especially as they work toward postseason. Feeling the pressure, but handling the pressure, staying focused on their beam cues, remembering why they are the #1 team in the nation on this event. And it's their preparation and the way they attack it in competition.
Crystal Issa, part of that 6 seniors. Coach Tom Farton calls them the six-pack at Utah. Faith Torres, a freshman for the Sooners. In the all-around tonight, has 2 9.9s and a 9.775 coming after Danae Fletcher had a 9.85.
You need a special ticket to watch this routine. Look at that doubling! That was unreal. Really nicely done on that double layout. technique is so impressive, but the power behind it really makes these passes special. So high in the air, great control on the landing. And good performance.
All right, a night of all-around, her second time for the Sooners in the all-around in 3 meets. Freshman Faith Torres out of Wisconsin. Nice job.
Watch the lift off the floor, really gets those arms up, shows off that open layout position. And then the combination pass, a very difficult front through to a very high, tough double back.
A couple of notes from Thomas Haley and KJ Kindler there after her floor routine for Faith Torres. Now, Miley O'Keefe, we have seen her score perfection on this event. Right now, tied for first in the NCAA based on her score average. Crystal Issa had a 9.85. Here is Miley.
And perhaps even more impressive, we've seen her perform perfectly under pressure.
See the 5 scores there. That 9.075 is the score they would like to drop. They need a hit routine here to get a solid team score.
Difficult side aerial to lay step out, so straight and in line with the beam.
Just the best 5 of 6 routines towards that team total.
She's very intentional on being. She's trained the consistency into this routine, from her breathing to her expression. Keeps the focus the entire routine through to the very end. Comes up with a stick. Clutch performance.
4-time Pac-12 champion. 11-time All-American, the senior from Las Vegas. A clutch performance there at the end of the rotation for Utah.
Several of the gymnasts do this very difficult acro series, as well as this dismount. She came up with the stick, though, and that is why she's the anchor.
Utah finishes strong on beam in that 4th and final rotation with Miley O'Keefe. Jordan Bowers now coming after Faith Torres had a 9.95. You see Bowers average 9.9. She's already had a 9.9, a 9.95, and a 9.725. Today she's competing in the all-around for the Sooners along with Faith Torres.
YouTube TV has no
Love all the details in this choreography. Watch the amplitude and form on this pike double back. It just floats sky high with perfect control.
We asked KJ Kindler about this choreography. She said, our goal is that she will burn through you with her eyes. Forget about the tumbling.
Difficult middle tumbling run. Ooh, front double twist to front tuck. She kept her cool. Wow. 2 strong, really strong tumbling passes, and as you said, the intense visual of this routine. She just really draws you into this routine and impresses you with amplitude, control, technique. Difficult front double twist. Mistimed that punch, but stayed cool, stayed with it, and got that front tuck around.
It takes talent and strength to not take a major deduction on that tumbling combination. Utah's final score for Miley O'Keefe. She had a 9.975 on beam, so that means one judge gave her a 9.9, the other a perfect 10. So Utah finishes off with a solid beam effort after they replaced their score of 9.075. Utah with a 197.275. Jordan Bowers, her score is in now. It's a 9.925, and so the Sooners with a 197.925 will get the win here tonight at the Lloyd Noble Center on Alumni Night. Thanks for joining us here on ESPN in prime time. Our final score, Utah 197.275, the Oklahoma Sooners by .65, a 197.925, win their home opener. Coming up next is NFL Rewind for Kathy Johnson-Clark and Sam Pesek and our entire production crew. So long from Norman, Oklahoma. We're glad you joined us.